I can be.
Hi, I'm Larry London, and this is Border Crossings. Today we are joined by singer-songwriter Kevin Griffin. Best known as the lead singer for Better Than Ezra, Kevin decided after 3 decades and 8 CDs that it was a good time for a solo album. The new CD is titled Anywhere You Go, which contains songs unlike any of his past music. Kevin says his solo debut was inspired by some of the classic sounds from artists like Bob Dylan and Neil Young. In addition to his singing, Kevin has written songs for Taylor Swift, Deborah Harry, Mike Love of the Beach Boys, and the chart-topping Stuck Like Glue for Sugarland. Kevin also produces an annual music festival in Tennessee called the Pilgrimage Festival, where this year's headliners were the Killers, Keith Urban, and the Foo Fighters. Stay tuned for an up-close and personal look at Kevin Griffin coming up on Border Crossings.
Mamacita, hey, I wanna meet ya.
Hi, I'm Larry London. Welcome to Border Crossings. In our studios today, we have an artist who is not only known as a songwriter and a tremendously talented singer with a band Better Than Ezra, but now, after 3 decades, he's decided to put out a solo album. We welcome to Washington, D.C. and to the Voice of America, Kevin Griffin. It's great to have you here.
Larry, I'm so glad to be back here in your warm studio, face to face with
Better
you.
than being outside in the cold.
Oh my gosh, it's frigid outside.
Now, you started off wanting to be a lawyer. So
Yeah,
how did
yeah.
the whole thing change?
Well, it was always I wanted to be a rock star.
Oh, you
first.
did?
Yeah,
Oh.
but I was a practical guy. You know, I liked school and I did well in school, and so I always wanted to have a fallback plan. You know, and so when it became more and more apparent as I got older how what a long shot a career in music or entertainment was, I was like, well, then my fallback will be I'll be an entertainment lawyer and somehow weave my way into it to a creative part of it. So that was really kind of the motivation for getting accepted to law school. But I never really wanted to go. But
Musician at heart.
But musician at heart, rock and roll won out.
And you've always been on the move. I see where you worked for creative artists in L.A. for a little while, but you're from Atlanta, and you met the band Better Than Ezra, those guys, when you were at Louisiana State University.
Oh, yeah.
So you've been doing a lot of traveling.
So I was born in Atlanta and lived there until about 2nd grade. Then we moved to Louisiana, to Monroe, Louisiana. They call it Funroe. That's the Arklamis, the I-20 corridor. And then went to Louisiana State University in Baton Rouge and graduated in 90. And during that time started Better Than Ezra. And we were just a college band playing the SEC circuit, all the, University of Alabama, Oxford, Mississippi, Athens. And then that just took off, but it was from the first rehearsal in 1988 to 1995 when we got signed. It was 7 years. So it took Better Than Ezra a long time. And during that time I lived down in L.A. and, I was toying with going to law school. I was it was funny. I was 25, and I was like, "Oh my God, I've got to get my act together." I'm too old. Now at my ripe old age, I look back and go, "Man, you should have relaxed, enjoy it." But you know how it is. And so finally, music took off, and lived down in New Orleans, until Katrina. Then back to L.A. Now I live in Nashville. Nashville's home for good. I've been there 9 years, and I love it. And
And you've done a lot of work for the Katrina victims, and you've performed in a lot of charity fundraisers.
Absolutely. Better Than Ezra has a foundation, btefoundation.org, and it really found its focus post-Katrina in the wake of the hurricane. And we've rebuilt homes with Make It Right, which is Brad Pitt's version of what is it? What is the Habitat for Humanity? That's his kind of version of it. And we've relocated musicians and done for the city. We've done splash parks in Audubon Park and in City Park. So when you go around New Orleans, you see a lot of the effects of the Better Than Ezra Foundation. And now these days I do a lot of stuff with Music Cares, which is the charitable arm of the Grammys. And they're a safety net for musicians in need. And you get to a point where what you do has to have a purpose as well. I mean, it's a living, but I want it to mean more than just trying to make money.
We're talking with Kevin Griffin. I'm very excited to have you back. It's a different set of circumstances now because you don't have the band. You're out there solo now, which probably, it's strange to an extent, but I'm sure with all of the musicians you've worked with and collaborated with, this is not too out of the ordinary for you.
It's not, and I get to be with people like Sinclair, who's an amazing artist, based now in Nashville, and you know, I've been doing solo shows. I've always done them, but really kind of in this form for about 5 years. And there was a group of songs that started to emerge. And most songwriters will tell you when they're writing songs, it's kind of like the songs you write have some type of magnetic polarity, and they attract each other, and they start to come kind of into a group. And some songs are better than Ezra songs. Some songs are songs I might pitch to another artist. And then this group of songs were like, these all feel cohesive, and it feels, is this a solo album? And it was, you know, and I made it in my studio in Franklin, Tennessee, which is just 15 miles south of Nashville. And yeah, and it was just, they spoke to me, and I could tell, wow, this is a really great group of songs. And I went to my label, I was like, do you want to put this out? And they're like, yes. So here we are.
Well, you're known for writing great songs, and if you wouldn't mind singing one of them, we'd love to hear some live music.
Absolutely. This one is one of the first songs recorded from the album, and it's called No One Makes It Out Alive. It goes like this. Just too big without you. There's riots in Chelsea, there's shooting out holes in the moon. On your bank account, springing a hole. Yeah, there's nowhere else that we can go. Oh, there's a wolf on the wind. There's a storm in the sail, like a crow on a plow in a Texas hell. Honey, no one makes it out alive. You're wrapped up in roses and tumbling out in the street. Men don't pay no attention, they're all too discreet. Oh, you wake up the whole neighborhood. Yeah, they'd put you away if they could. There's a wolf on the wind, there's a storm in the sail, like a crow on a plow in a Texas hell. Makes it out alive. Oh yeah, here we go. When your back's against the wall, you don't have to wear it all. No one's gonna make it out alive. When your back's against the wall, you don't have to wear it all. Hey, no one's gonna make it out alive. When your back's against the wall, you don't have to wear it all. Hey, no one's gonna make it out alive. When your back's against the wall, you don't have to hurt it all. Hey, there's a storm in the sail, like a crow on a plow in a Texas hell. Honey, no one makes it out alive. Woo. Honey, no one makes it out alive. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Border
you.
Crossings, thank you very much.
They're standing and applauding
Oh, my
in
God.
Nigeria.
People can't see.
Kuwait,
but
they're
everywhere.
on their feet right now.
You can feel it.
You can feel the energy.
Earth is reverberating with applause.
The album's called Anywhere You Go.
Yes, it is.
And although you've had many, many albums with Better Than Ezra, this is the first solo album you've actually released. Why did you wait 3 decades?
The world had waited long enough, Larry.
The wait is over.
I realized this is a disservice to the planet.
Yeah.
I just I always the songs I was always writing, that weren't for other artists, always felt like Better Than Ezra songs. And then there was this group of songs that didn't sound like Better Than Ezra, and it really sounded like the Anywhere You Go title was really kind of like me going through my record collection and about music that influenced me and still does, and there was a common thread from older albums like Neil Young Harvest or Bob Dylan Blood on the Tracks to newer records by bands like Head in the Heart and Dawes. There was this kind of like simple production was a common theme, narrative lyrics, and just a timeless quality. And so it was really kind of Anywhere You Go in my record collection. And then also there's a song title called Anywhere You Go, There You Are. And I love that's a saying, and it's about that, I kind of found in my life that, wow, I've lived so many different places, but I'm still stuck with myself. And I was kind of wanting to change things often. And I realized, well, I need to change myself first if I want to go someplace different. And without getting all metaphysical, crossing the border, so that's different things conspired. It was the music, it was where I was in my life that all kind of brought me to making a solo record.
Now, you mentioned a couple of artists I know who are influential to this particular album, Neil Young and Bob Dylan. And both of those artists are connected to kind of political songs.
Sure.
And I know you were a political science major.
Oh, yeah.
So are there songs with political tones on this new album?
I think that if anything, it's more. I've always kind of stayed away from politics, I'm not shy about what my leanings are, but there's people that do it so well.
Sure.
Kind of maybe I'm more interested in the politics of the heart, Larry.
Getting profound,
Right?
with Kevin Griffin.
Ooh, that's like a band name.
That sounds.
I'm gonna run with that, Kevin.
It's the politics of the heart. You sit back and you wonder who you are. You're the politics of the heart. You move your pieces. Checkmate. It's a politics.
We have the birth of a song right here.
That was more of a Leonard Cohen vibe.
It kind of was.
Politics of the heart. You moved your body like a wind in Istanbul.
How many impressions do you do?
Way too many.
Way too many.
Way too many.
Wow. Well,
But Leonard Cohen, with my voice kind of gruff right now, feels very good.
Now, a lot of people don't realize that you're responsible for a lot of music that other artists put out. You mentioned the songwriting thing. Taylor Swift,
She's covered some songs.
Yeah. And Sugarland,
yeah.
you had a number 1 song for Sugarland.
With Stuck Like Glue.
Stuck Like Glue. And so how does the writing change when you write for yourself or for someone else?
Well, when you're writing for yourself, most artists want to be everything to everybody, and then you realize, well, people think of me as a certain way, with Better Than Ezra is always going to be that 90s band, and then you also sound a certain way. So when I write songs for myself, I know they're going to sound like Kevin Griffin songs in my voice, but when I'm writing for other artists, I just get to be a fan of music. And if you look at my Spotify playlist or anybody's, it's all different types. And so as a fan of music, and if you study it and you listen to it, it's kind of a challenge to like write outside what I would play normally. So I'll write we're working on a song for a new children's TV show right now that has all these references like super pop things like Marshmello and who else?
I think Meghan Trainor.
Meghan Trainor. So
Wow.
so you
Bruno
just
Mars,
you get to wear a different hat, and then I get to work with somebody like Sinclair who brings her production skills to the table and stuff, and so you just really just got it's just a different mindset. You put on a different hat, like writing for other people, and that's also when you do the considerations. Does this feel relevant? Is it pop enough? Is it too pop? What's the production going to be like?
Wow.
And for the solo record, it was really like no considerations. Because normally, like with this last song we just played, I would never do a vamp kind of at the end where it's just kind of this riffy kind of thing. And then there's certain songs, like a song called Bleed For It, which in the middle sounds like a Thin Lizzy song with just this harmonized lead.
Right.
That normally I would go, let's cut that out. That's, it's too long. But with this record, I was like, no, this is what I love, and let's just do that.
Yeah, you can do what you want.
And it was really fun.
Pleases you.
It does. And the interesting thing is that in a culture that gets knocked so often for just being super no patience and just moving so fast, which it is, people really have reacted like to the record and that little bit of effort, like, oh man, I really love this. It's just so different and cool, and sort of takes me to another place, like that's music that I don't hear anymore.
So there you are at home. You're in the middle of dinner. Take me through the process. I mean, you pick up the phone and it's Taylor Swift saying, "Write me a song."
Well, now the Taylor Swift was interesting. That was in 2011. And or it may have been 2010. It was when the horrible earthquake happened in Haiti, and I'd already heard that Taylor was recovering a song called "Our Last Night," and then we got a call right before the big Hope for Haiti telethon that George Clooney put on, and it's still to this day it's the most watched televised broadcast in the history of broadcast television.
Really?
Go figure.
Wow.
And we got a call from somewhere in the upper echelons of Taylor Swift management that she wanted to cover a song that I wrote called "Breathless," and we said no. No, I'm kidding.
right. Who? Taylor's
Like, what? Absolutely.
Take a message.
And it was an old phone like
That's
that.
right.
It was like, and I rang it up. Who? It was like Andy Griffith calling Mount Pilot, And we said yes. So that's how that happened. So we were just very flattered. But songwriting with different artists, an A&R guy from a label will call me up. I've been doing it for a while, or a manager will, call me up, or there's just an artist that I love, and they're not calling me, so I'll hustle, and it's, when I'm out there, saying, calling my manager, say, hey man, do you know the manager of this artist? And he'll go, yeah, and he'll put it together,
If somebody gave you a choice and said, Kevin, you have to choose songwriting or singing and performing, where would your passion be?
That's a good question, because songwriting, performing live is more satisfying, but you make less money doing it.
Really?
Yes, songwriting, when I'm focused on nothing but that, it's a lot more of a lucrative endeavor. I mean, really, because if you get if you get a hit for another artist,
right.
and you get something that's a worldwide
The royalties
number one,
just keep coming.
it's just crazy, And I have people say, "Man, why aren't you?" My manager's like, "Would you please quit playing shows all the time?" I'm like, but for me, it's about a balance, and it makes me happy, and at the end of the day, you want to be happy and pleased with yourself. And playing live informs writing, and writing informs playing live, and I really like. I mean, since second grade, I've been performing, and I really am happy when I'm on stage and making people smile. And somebody told me sometimes you feel like, oh, is what I'm doing making a difference? And then you have someone say, this song, your performance put a smile on my face, and my wife and I got married to this song, and you get to play it for them, and that's a powerful thing in this day and age, to bring joy to people in a crazy world.
And especially if you tour internationally, they don't speak the language, but they know the words to your song.
I tell you what, it's crazy. There's a song. You can't mind if we play a little bit of a song?
I'd love to hear
I'll play
something.
a little bit of a song that I wrote for a guy named Howie Day. We wrote this song.
Sure.
And it was a hit for us. And so this is a song that's been translated into all these different languages. I will not sing different languages. I'll just keep it in the original boring English. Just a little bit of it. The dawn is breaking, a light shining through. You're barely waking, and I'm tangled up in you. I'm open, you're closed. and I'm scared to know I'm always on your mind. 'Cause even the best fall down sometimes. Even the wrong words seem to rhyme. And out of the doubt that fills your mind, you somehow find you and I collide. You somehow find you and I collide.
Love it. Big hit.
Just a taste, just a kiss.
Big hit. Big hit.
Yeah.
Howie Day, one of the few artists to come out of New Hampshire.
Well, no, actually, Bangor, Maine, but close.
Cold territory in the north.
Yeah.
But we're talking with Kevin Griffin, songwriter extraordinaire, singer, performer. We're thrilled to have you in our studios. If you wouldn't mind doing another song.
Absolutely.
I hate to
Well,
take you from one to another
dude,
right away.
I'm,
but
Larry, anything you want, brother.
Well, thank you, Kevin.
You know, London, Paris, France, Munich. Have you never used that in your name?
No.
Larry, London, Paris, France, Munich, anywhere you want to go, border crossing.
do a jingle. There you go.
So I'll do a Better Than Ezra song.
All right.
Okay.
That would be great.
3, 4. Looking around the house, watching the sun trace shadows on the floor, searching the signs of life, there's nobody home. Now maybe I'm just too sure, or maybe I'm just too frightened by the sound of it. Pieces of note fall down, but the letter said, it was good living with you, it was good, it was good living with you, it was good, good, yeah, good. That's right, mama. Sitting around the house, watching the sun trace shadows on the wall, searching for signs of life, there's nobody home. Now maybe I'll call or write you a letter, maybe we'll see on the 4th of July, but I'm not too sure, and I'm not too proud. Well, I'm not too sure, and I'm not too proud to say, it was good living with you, it was good, it was good living with you, it was good, oh, take it, Sinclair. It was good living with you, it was good, it was good living with you, it was good, yeah. Yeah. Woo-hoo. You're so good, honey. Yeah, you were so good. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, throw the pick in the crowd.
Throw a
Smash
pick
the
in the crowd,
guitar.
man. Throw a pick in the crowd.
Kevin Griffin. And Better Than Ezra song Good, which went up to #1 for you guys. 8 CDs, Better Than Ezra. Is the band going to be, you're still together? You still?
Oh, absolutely. Last time we were together, it was
A couple years ago.
summer of 2018, and Better Than Ezra was out with Bare Naked Ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be out this summer again. We're locking down a tour. It will not be the Motley Crue, Poison. What's the tour that just announced? Motley Crue, Poison, and some other big 80s hair band stadium tour. It won't be that tour.
There's a lot of those bands. There's all those. Fall Out Boy. And
Motley Crue?
Yeah, and they signed, sadly I know this, they signed a legal document saying they would not tour again. Just for the health of the country, they decided.
Now, speaking of tours and shows, you are one of the founders of the Pilgrimage Music Festival.
Pilgrimage Music Festival.
Yeah, and the Killers were there this past summer.
We had the Foo Fighters, the Killers, Keith Urban, Leon Bridges, Nathaniel Rateliff, and
wow.
I had a crazy idea, and
I couldn't get tickets.
Larry, yes, you could. my friend. But that just celebrated its 5th year, and
Congratulations.
It's been this great journey that it's putting on a music festival is there's a lot of moving parts. But we have a great group of partners. Justin Timberlake is a partner with us in the festival, and it just keeps getting bigger. And we wanted to do a festival that was like Jazz and Heritage Festival in New Orleans, which was the celebration of a region, the best food, music, culture, and artisans, and we brought that to Middle Tennessee.
As if you're not busy enough already, you add a music festival to the mix.
I love being busy.
Obviously.
I'm just a hustler in the best definition, in the best sense of the word.
Are you with the Merrymakers?
A band of merrymakers?
Yeah.
You know what?
Because the holidays are here.
You know what? The great thing about a Christmas record is it's kind of evergreen. No pun intended. You know.
Right.
And you put it takes a few years for unless you're Pentatonics or Mariah Carey, it takes a while for those songs to permeate the Yuletide spirit, so to speak. So that album that we did gets tons of plays, and it's in a song called "Must Be Christmas." Just got added again to the holiday pop playlist on Spotify.
Right.
So and then Mike Love covered it.
Right.
But Merrymakers, we're not doing shows this year.
Okay.
But the guy that I did it all with, a guy named Sam Hollander, has had his best year ever as a songwriter. He wrote all those big songs in the Panic at the Disco record, like High Hopes, and he wrote Hand Clap for Fits and the Tantrums. So when I've called him and said, "Hey, you want to get the Merrymakers back together?" He's like, "Who is this?"
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I remember seeing you on the Today Show with
Oh, yeah.
Mark McGrath, and you guys were doing your
We
thing.
did it. The fun thing with McGrath is I do a band with Mark McGrath and from Sugar Ray, and
Sugar
Emerson Hart from Tonic, and it's called Ezra Ray Hart. And we did it as we formed it for doing corporate gigs because we realized what a lot of people out there don't realize is that your favorite musicians, whether it's Better Than Ezra or Paul McCartney or the Rolling Stones, they'll do corporate gigs. They'll play your birthday party.
Yes.
If you have enough money, Paul McCartney will come and play your birthday party.
Yep.
And so we realized that we're like, we need to. We're getting corporate gigs on our own, but let's put this band together. And so that's how it started. And then we started writing original songs, and now we're going out doing some shows with Train. So that may be taking off. I don't know. Who knows?
I just read where Ed Sheeran played Gordon Ramsay's daughter's birthday party for $500,000.
Really?
Yep.
It was only
I know, I'm
500,000.
surprised.
Because
So 500,000 pounds, which probably translates in a little bit more, but that's what
usually
it
it's
was.
a couple million for guys like that. To
Yeah.
and he may know Gordon.
Probably.
So it's all those celebrities run in circles we only dream about, Larry.
Well, I'm in the presence of greatness here. I mean, Kevin Griffin, 5-time BMI Pop Award winner,
Yeah.
Australian Recording Industry Association award winner. I mean, and multi-platinum artist. So
We were holding our breath this morning to see if we were nominated for Grammys.
for the Grammys.
Sadly, we were not.
Yep.
We would have been on a private jet to L.A. and not here. So thank God.
That's it.
We were not
I'm feeling
nominated.
lucky.
And I got to give props again. You're listening to me speak and sing and be silly, but also Sinclair is here. She's an amazing artist. Go check out How can I give
Yeah.
you some?
So I'm like, my handle online is I go by Sinclair everywhere, and then my music is everywhere. So iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, all that jazz.
I've been able to write with some with Sinclair, and she's a young artist who's doing amazing things. And when I decided to do this tour, I was like, oh my gosh, would you come out and play these shows with me? And you can open the shows, but you also be in my band. So it's really fun to have her with me singing all these BV parts and all these great guitar parts as well. And she keeps me on my toes because she's a much better musician than I am. So I'm just like, yeah. Otherwise, I'd be slacking.
It's been an amazing opportunity, and Kevin is as much fun as he seems like he is right now.
Oh yeah.
If not more.
He doesn't change off
He
air,
doesn't.
right?
It doesn't. We don't walk out, and he doesn't become like this total diva.
He gets a separate limousine.
Yeah, exactly. Where he gets
Separate
angry.
tour bus.
Who does Larry think he is?
Sinclair, you played one wrong note. Docked.
Anywhere You Go is the name of the album. If you guys wouldn't mind doing another song for us.
Yeah, this is a song that is the next single from the record that's going to be. We're going to put it out in January. It's called, again, Someone Tonight.
Thank you for coming on.
Larry, it's always a pleasure to be
It's
here.
great to catch up with you.
Yeah.
It's been a couple years. Don't be a stranger. Come back again.
I'll see you in 2 years.
All right. And if people want to find you on the web, where do they go?
They can go to kevingriffinmusic.com or go to Kevin M. Griffin at Instagram and Twitter, and just Kevin Griffin Musician on Facebook.
Anywhere you go.
Or TMZ. I'm always
On TMZ, right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you both for coming
You
on.
got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin Griffin's been our guest. You are tuned to Border Crossings.